like a Cheeto, and I heard from Louie that it has a lot of ridges, they're really crispy, so it has a lot of ridges, and it tastes like a regular Cheetos, no knockoff cheese, but the end has ranch flavoring. So just the very tip is like ranch. And there's no dust, and a 2-ounce serving has 100 calories.
Oh.
Awesome.
Yeah. Right?
Yep.
I have the BLT grilled cheese taco,
Oh.
which is a taco with a cheese shell, so it's keto friendly. Really good crispy bacon, lettuce, tomato, and in place of guac, just some fresh California style avocado slice.
I'm going to name it the Blocko.
Yeah.
That sounds spectacular. Anne.
Okay, really crappy drawings, but it's chocolate dip plantain. Let's start from the top. Okay, so we got a chocolate raspberry extra large pinafore. So it's like got that creaminess in the middle on a bed of chocolate covered plantain garnished with an orchid. And you said unique, so I'm like this puppy Philip.
I like it. Great job. Dory.
Okay, staying with your keto theme. Mine is called apple parfait, and it's something I created because I don't do yogurt, and so it's heavy cream with sour cream mixed together to create like a yogurt, and then a little bit of stevia, some crushed apple, pecans, and almond meal, and some lemon juice. And I thought of it because I just had it this morning.
Very good. Who else? Yes.
I don't know what to call this, but it's a all fruit banana, frozen banana covering and chocolate covered fruit in it. Grapes, blueberries, raspberries, mango on a stick. But it's right. It's a rainbow.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's held together with banana ice cream.
Yummy.
And
Woo.
covered in chocolate.
Yeah.
And it's on a stick.
It's on the
It's portable.
It's like a cornucopia on a stick, right? Yeah. Great.
So keeping with the keto thing as well. So I came up with a keto lunch pack. And so inside it has like dried strawberries, it has your chicken, that's going to be individually packaged inside this little container. And then like a little packet of chicken broth to kind of fill your stomach so that you won't feel hungry, but it's all inside.
Great. That's awesome. Go ahead and then go to Jerry Lynn. No, you're fine.
This is me very happy chewing a piece of cinnamon or spearmint gum that never loses flavor.
Yeah. Really wanted that stuff.
So I love how you took it and moved toward the outcome of your snack, which is great.
It lives
Yeah.
in my mouth.
Yeah. No, it's good. I like that. Jerry Lynn?
All right, I have one that's going to totally gross people out, but I think that there are a lot of things on the market now that we wouldn't have envisioned doing the combinations now. So start out traditional. We have a nice graham cracker base with some toasted marshmallows on top of it, with melted peanut butter sauce on top of that, and a nice sprinkling of capers. Salty. Right?
Salt and sweet.
I have no name for it.
Okay. All right. Wow.
What were you guys
Aiden?
All right, so I love a juicy burger, but this one's very unique because it's a gluten-free, vegan, all organic burger, but it's very special to us because it's got the craft of research right there. The snack of research.
Did you want to? Nice. Well played. Yeah. You know what? He's been inculcated. Anybody else want to share? Anybody else want to share? Steven.
I have a puppy who teeth, so I feel like A bone that bites you back, Mike.
That is a snack with a bite, huh? Yeah, that's good. I like that. Assumpta.
Whenever I think of nuts, I just think of nuts. So I'm not really nutty, but I love peanuts, but almonds are my favorite.
Okay. All right. Very fun. Yes, Rachel.
My snack is similar to yours. I call it the Crunchy Apes, and it's great for kids. It's vegan, and it's made out of dried cranberries, raw almonds, shaped in a pretzel with a little sea salt. So it's good for you, it's good for your kids, it's good for everyone. Crunchy Apes.
Awesome. Crunchy Eights. Yes.
So when I thought of the concept unique snack, I thought of insects because I think that's very unique. So I drew a grasshopper.
Oh.
And I bet they're crunchy.
Protein and crunchy. Jay?
Barbecue itself. You get a barbecue grasshopper.
Yeah.
It starts with a standby. So you take banana, not great drawing, and slather it with peanut butter.
Oh, yeah, that's a good
And
one.
then if you're in California, you roll it in some THC laced. So you take care of your munchies before you get them. or for anybody else, you can get, there's actually a gingerbread flavored granola. It's good.
There's a market in Vancouver, we just legalized marijuana.
Oh.
Yeah.
You can also roll it in coconut.
It says you can also roll it in Coke. I
Whoa. It's a very creative bunch. Yeah. Any, yes.
I did a raspberry because today my first grandbaby is the size of a raspberry.
Oh, congratulations. That's great. Yes.
Okay, so mine's a little similar to Jerry Lynn's. I did a layered cracker. So it has a cool layer of cream cheese and then a spicy layer on top of spicy jelly dusted with hot Cheetos.
Very good.
Did you say hot Cheetos or hot Cheetos?
But we're just not gonna get off
Mine is slightly similar based on the cream cheese. It is potato chips and cream cheese. It's something that my mother and sister like a lot. But because I didn't have any other colored crayons, they are sweet potato chips.
Oh, I love sweet potato chips. That and sweet potato puffs. Yes.
I'll do mine as well, real quick. I didn't have the proper colors, so it's all in black and white, old-fashioned TV. Okay, so it's green apples, that little tangent, you guys like tangent, that shaker stuff here, that's spicy. You cut the apple, put it on the tray, shake the tangent on it, dry it out, and it's called the Tan Pan Apple. And I distribute it through Trader Joe's. I don't really, but that's my big drink.
Okay.
Big money here.
All right.
Okay, and then it's this crunchy, salty, spicy, sweet, and it has as a tagline, slightly sweet, definitely tolerant.
Nice. You might have a future in snack packaging.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah. Carla?
Okay, mine is not unique at all. I just thought about my preferred snack. It's a dark chocolate bar with dried fruits inside and nuts.
Okay. Dark chocolate and nuts. Okay. Yes, Mike. Is it Mike or Michael?
It's either.
Okay.
This one either. Mine is kind of weird. You can't really tell, but it's not. People do it all the time. But you peel the banana, and then my mom taught me when I was really young. You get these buy them at the store. These little needles. You can put peanut butter inside of it. So good.
Peanut butter and banana with a little chocolate?
Yes.
Yeah.
Dark chocolate. Yeah, you
Yeah.
inject it. You put it inside, so when it's not on top. It just melts.
Yeah, that is really good. All right. Anybody else? Anybody else? Anybody else? So a couple observations. I did this same thing with my 14-year-old daughter. We actually did a 30-day challenge. So we had a unique prompt every day. And so that was the prompt. She sent it out. And then at the end of the day, we would share our different drawings. And one of the things that stood out to me was how difficult it was for me and how easy it was for her. And so one of the things that from a positive and negative standpoint around ideas and ideation is that often our experience, our age, the responsibilities, the busyness, all cloud our ability to be creative and to totally get into a space where we can come up with different ideas. Fascinating to look also at all of your ideas, and each of your ideas had a level of context or representation. In some ways, these little puzzle pieces, right, represent a greater picture. And you could call this piece of a puzzle an idea, but without the descriptions that you all provided, we didn't know the context. And so it stayed as an individual idea without the bigger picture of what happened. And so often ideas are a picture or a representation, but sometimes they're just an example of something that's bigger. And then the last piece, one of the things that I think kids, and we'll talk about this again, have the ability to do, and then when we get into talking about the habits of ideation, is they have the ability to take the prompt and go in a totally different and unique direction. And we stayed very true to what a snack might be that we liked and that would be something that would be acceptable. When I started this prompt with Mary Beth, and maybe it's just because I was whacked that day, I couldn't think of anything but snakes. I have no idea why. No. And so, and I had just eaten a piece of bacon, and as I looked at the next piece of bacon, I kind of looked at it and said, well, it kind of looks like a snake. And so I came up with snakin'. So it was a piece of bacon that had a rattle at the end and the head at the beginning. Obviously, I'm not going to eat snakin'. But our ability to create space and to think outside of the box is a critical part. So just a fun little exercise. So what is ideation, right? It's a process of coming up with ideas. You know, we use the experiences that we have, the context. We use a number of different things that we either go out and research, but often when we talk about ideation, it's things that we have or that we've experienced that unconsciously we haven't brought forward. And so what I would actually argue is that from an ideation standpoint, each of us have the ability to generate really creative, unique ideas given our expertise, given our context, given our experience, but we often don't give ourselves credit or an ability to think outside the box, right? A number of you commented on your drawing about how it wasn't a representative or it didn't look good enough. And yet, as I interacted with my 14-year-old over that 30-day challenge, never once did she apologize for her drawing. Now, she's a phenomenal drawer, but when we get into the research, we know that kids never apologize for their drawing. In fact, they just draw. Did anybody read The Little Prince growing up? So do you remember the first introduction of The Little Prince? There's a situation where the adults are in one room and the little prince is in the other room and comes up with this fabulous drawing. And it's yellow and it kind of has a curvature and it looks like a hat. You remember that? And so she brings it in and she presents it to the adults and she says, what do you think it is? And she's all excited. And the adults say, well, it's a hat. And what are you doing? This is, I mean, and just begin to criticize her. And the response is, no, this is a boa constrictor that's eaten an elephant. And so then the second picture that you see in the Little Prince is literally the picture of the same thing with the boa constrictor, right, the head and the tail, with the elephant on the inside. And so the quote that is presented is, often adults think way too much. And I believe that that's true, that often we think or overthink or move toward representing what we hear day in and day out, which is a critical tone instead of an encouraging tone. So ideation, the process of generating and developing new ideas, right? Pretty simple. There are some associations that go with this. Ideation is the process of generating ideas, but included are creativity, innovation, and inspiration. So some of the definitions that you can pull: creativity is the use of imagination to create original ideas. Innovation, the process of innovating, and then inspiration, unconscious process of creativity. So they're all interrelated. Anybody know what this is? A marshmallow. So we are going to now move into a timed competitive activity. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Okay, so we're going to break out into groups of 4, and we're just going to literally go 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we'll go 5. And I'm going to keep you out. Is that all right? Unless you want to go 5th over here.
No.
Okay. So what I'd love to have you do is send one member of your group up to the front and to tell you what you're going to do. Each of you have a bag. And in the bag is 20 pieces of spaghetti, about a yard-ish of string. There are scissors up here if you need to cut something. You have some tape, and then you have a number of marshmallows. And then you have directions in the bag. And so the directions talk about your task. That you have 18 minutes, and you need to build the largest freestanding structure. Now, there are some rules, and we're going to cross a couple of these rules off. Number 2 on the rules says cutting or eating part of the marshmallow disqualifies the team. No. You have to have a single marshmallow at the highest point to be measured. But if you want to eat marshmallows, have at it. Now, you're not going to win if you eat all your marshmallows because you got to have a marshmallow on your tower. So we're going to cross that rule off, okay? And I think that's it. So go ahead and send up a representative to collect your bags and your tape. And again, we're going to just go we're going to start here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Sienna, you can jump in with them. Yeah, so first 4 here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, third 4, fourth 4, fifth 4, sixth 4. Actually, you guys will be 5. Yeah. So you guys 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You guys are 5. Yeah. All right. So what I want you to do is get into your groups. Since we're adults, we're always going to have questions. If it was kids, we wouldn't have questions. We'd just do it. So get in your groups, read the directions, and in a minute, I'm going to open it up for any questions before we move into the exercise. Oh, and don't forget your tape. Don't forget your tape. Tape is kind of important.
26 of spaghetti.
What time do we end? I mean, what time did the?
They leave at
10:45.
10:45, I think. But
10 what?
10:45, I believe.
Okay.
But they have a break.
Okay, we might go over a little bit. Okay. All right, so Reed, think about what your questions are, and in 30 seconds, we're going to have one quick. All right, 15 seconds before any round of quick questions, and then I'm going to start it.
That's not gonna be strong enough. I like that.
What?
There's some really interesting things. I look at my notes with
Yeah.
I actually believe that group might do something pretty damn cool.
Yeah,
Real interesting.
it is.
And then we've got these guys that are all new, but then we've got Elizabeth.
Yeah, and Aiden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I like
Yeah. All right. Before we start, are there any questions? Any questions? Raise your hand if you have a question. Elizabeth.
Do you guys want to hear the questions, just in case it's the same thing?
So it literally is from the table to the highest point of the marshmallow, and it's got to be freestanding. So you can't, it can't, I don't know. Good question.
How long does it have to stay?
So that's a great question. When we end at 18 minutes, or actually we're going to do 15 minutes, when we end, it has to stand for 30 seconds on its own. Okay? Any other questions? All right, here's the official clock. We're going 15 minutes. Ready, set, go.
Can you give me two?
Oh, yeah,
Okay, now.
How many are we gonna do?
You can also take Jordan.
Okay, well, we can try to make it long for 18 minutes. Take it down and
You like my cameras?
I do. Those are good. So I've used this for team building, but this is also great because one of the disciplines around ideation is fail fast. Try and fail. Need scissors. Oh my gosh, this is awesome.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
How many do we need? 2? 1? What am I see?
3.
1?
Good, nice to see you. I'm impressed. This is good.
So when did you go home? And how are you doing? No, that's fine. I just need to.
What? Right over here.
We can probably.
Yeah. Do you need to cut up a few more?
Your presence was nervousing.
You're funny.
Thank you.
You're welcome. There you go. All right, we're at 10 minutes. 10 minutes. What's that? You didn't get your tape? There you go. And if you rip it quickly, I mean it's duct tape, so. 10 minutes. Scissors are over here if you want to borrow them. Otherwise, you can try ripping it really quickly. Oh, the string, yeah.
We need to go down with that.
10 minutes. Jerry Lynn is the official. We're going to measure as soon as we're done. So we'll just measure it based on the string.
I always get the really important job.
Yes.
You're the really important person.
Yeah. No. Yes.
And then you need Okay, so then we take this.
This is kind of.
Oh, yeah.
So when we get to this point,
You getting a little cold? Oh. Drink some. You got to hit emergency or start drinking lemon juice.
I stepped in, got some Dayquil on my way in this morning.
We have a Myers lemon tree in our backyard, and it's got hundreds right now. So I'm trying to do a half a lemon in water a day to kind of help with keeping toxins out and staying away from getting cold.
I did for a little while when sometime recently.
Yeah. Was it helpful?
Yeah, I think it was. And
Yeah.
I just like fell into habit of
Yeah.
My mom's house right now has a bunch of she's an orange tree.
Okay.
Just like
Wow. Oranges. Yeah.
I like got home.
I'm sure you could do oranges too, as long as it's citrus, right?
It was 2 months and but I came home over the holidays and I was.
And where is she?
So she lives like right outside Westwood.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, like literally like Santa Monica, kind of like Santa Monica principle.
Kind of, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so I go home like once a month.
Okay, that's great.
A lot of friends. The dog is in LA, so I
You gotta go see the dog.
gotta see the dog.
Yeah. Wow, look at, we're getting some tall towers here.
High school.
The highest marshmallow, full marshmallow. Yes. What?
Does the marshmallow have to be the highest point?
Yes. You'll no, but you only get credit for as high as the marshmallow is. Yeah. So if you put a stick on top of the marshmallow, doesn't matter. I mean, it's nice, but nice radio tower. Oh yeah.
I don't think I can do it though.
What are you gonna do?
I said I really should get under the table.
Like inside?
Yeah, but I don't know about that.
Carol, I'll go under and you can hand it to me.
Over that way you can get some. Something doesn't have any problem.
Okay.
I think, and I have the
It looks like a mail board, like with the little flag at the top. It looks so good.
So I need you to unravel that.
Whoa.
Wow.
All right, let's do it.
They got some engineers over there.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna do
Yeah.
And then when you work the truck, we have this.
Let it go. We gradually on this Tape that.
You want to make sure. So we can really tape. The tape right here. Tape or you make one of these right here. And this is gonna be lighter. It's gonna be lighter. Scissors. Okay, we're gonna have to. Tape right here. Tape, just got tape. Tape right there. Yeah. It's 8 minutes, guys. So watch our easy side. Right, tape here. Right now we're out of. Okay, very good. Put tape on this side.
What's that magic of syringe that we could draw?
Right, got it on this side. Put tape on this. Tape right here. Whoa, whoa.
I was like watching it.
I think that's. Yeah, I just got those marshmallows off. And see for them. We need like, we need to. No, we have to take these and like.
You get time?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, now we just here. Right here. Okay, which one are you keeping? I'm gonna edge this. Yes, excellent. Oh, you're good.
I tried doing a couple panos too.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you. And one thing that I was standing
Foundations once.
What?
How long ago was it?
I think 2015, 2016. All right, we've got 30 seconds. 30 seconds.
How do we know for the tallest?
We'll measure. It's got to be standing and we'll come measure. 15 seconds. 14. 13. 10. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Okay, hands off. Here we go. Everybody, hands off. Hands off. Hands off. Hands off. Hands off. Hands off. Okay, hands off. All right, everybody. Okay, let's go around and measure. All right. Okay, so we've got a big marshmallow right in the middle. All right. It's just squished.
He has stage fright.
There you go. You got it? Okay. And remember, you can't hold it.
This is what to be.
Okay.
That was a little higher. I think you want to hear. Okay. Oh my gosh, you touched it.
Okay. No. All right. Heading over to the corner here.
It is standing. It may be bent, but it's standing.
Oh, it's standing. Yeah.
I think you're definitely going to beat it. We'll just, now we're measuring.
Yeah, just measure that one. To the top of the marshmallow. There we go. All right, good. Okay.
This is now the one to beat. You guys are the one to beat right now.
All right. So we've got a marshmallow.
It's the case of less is better.
Less is better. Okay. And then team 6. All right.
Have our winners in the corner.
So, ladies and gentlemen, Team Corner, congratulations. So, what's that? Yeah, you can eat it, you can cook it, you can have it for lunch, whatever you'd like to do. So what were some of the observations that you pulled from that experience? Little is bigger. Okay, Assumpta. Okay, grounding is good. What else? Different ideas, collaborating, right? Absolutely. What else?
Don't be top heavy.
Don't be top heavy. Okay, what else? Jay.
It was really important to stay engaged because if I turned my back to work on paper, some piece of it, and I wasn't paying attention, came back, I didn't know where they were and what they needed because things were changing so clearly.
Yeah, absolutely. Staying engaged.
Make sure you have all the information at the beginning because we thought we could rip part the marshmallow at the top first. That was announced in the middle of the contest, which was you have to use the entire marshmallow instead of just a little tiny part.
Well, it was part of the directions.
Is it on there?
Oh, yeah. And the only part we cut out was that you could eat it if you wanted to.
He did.
Yeah. But the entire marshmallow must be on top. Yeah, bullet point number 2. Yeah. But, isn't that a doctoral student, right? The entire marshmallow. I mean, we just operationalized that in a totally different way, right? Nice try, Elizabeth. Nice try. What else? What else? Yes.
Quick unified trust that we're all in it together.
We're all in it together.
We didn't have to waste time getting to know each other, lay of the land. We just
You're in.
focused and aligned.
Yeah. What else?
Quick discovery into people's imagination.
Yeah.
And the way people think, and it's interesting.
Yeah. From an
Allowed ourselves to fail.
You allowed yourselves to fail.
Yeah, we said, hey, we have
We
time
knew
to
it was
fail.
shot for the
Yeah.
moon.
We shot for the
Yeah.
moon, and it didn't work.
Yeah.
But I think if we tried it again, we could make it work.
So that's actually when we
Needed a little bit more time. It would have worked.
so those 2 tenets actually are really critical tenets when we talk about the habits of ideation. Number 1 is allowing yourself the ability to fail. Often we call it failing fast, failing often, iterative adjustments. And then second, similar to what we talked about in regard to your ideas and your unique snack, that it takes time, and often subconsciously you have what you need, but you need time and you need space and you need people to interact with those ideas. Anybody know Danny and Amos? Danny and Amos? Anybody know Danny and Amos? Tversky and Kahneman? So 2 Israeli psychologists that in the 50s and 60s, heading into the 70s, were polar opposites. One was incredibly organized, ultra efficient. The other one was like piles and piles of stuff on desks. They both started their journeys at Hebrew University and despised each other. And then over lunch one day, something happened, and they began to recognize each other's brilliance. And the 2 of them came together and really kind of crafted the idea and became the founders of behavioral economics and the psychology around big data. So again, difference brought together for the sharing of ideas with time and space created a whole new area that now many of us benefit. What else?
Testing your theories.
Testing your theories.
We didn't put the marshmallow on until the very last.
Yeah.
If we had done that earlier, we would have realized, okay, we can't go that high, and we would.
Yeah.
2 observations also. I noticed some teams, they were building it sideways on the table instead of building it up. And when they put it up, they didn't realize how it was going to interact. And then another thing I noticed too was also at the end when everyone got really stressed because of time, people were rushing to like try and get things done. They didn't know how it was going to react.
Yeah. Jay.
Also the importance of affect, because as you were telling your story, I remember hearing Kahneman talk about how much they laughed and how fun it was, and the ideas came out of that. And I felt the same for us. We're having such a good time. There were ideas coming out of it. Whereas if they're in a different mood, we wouldn't probably take the risk that we did.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Like whether you would still be able to stay in the program or not.
Yeah.
Might have been a little bit higher risk.
Yeah. Often Google is now. Yeah. Safety. Safety is a critical piece when we're trying something new, right?
Sadly, I would have gone like this. Oh shit, I can't do anything now. Okay, no. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. And
I'm glad it wasn't that heavy.
yeah. But we are conditioned because of life and life experiences to look at the glass often half empty as compared to in our younger years where we're encouraged to look at things through a lens of hope where it's half full. And so tied to ideation is an ability to flip and be negative or to be critical of the idea, but not the individuals or me as an individual, right? I mean, what do you see when kids play in a playground or when they play with Legos or when they interact and they're in that, right, Csikszentmihalyi flow mentality? It's all about the creation, the co-creation, the adjustment, I got an idea. And there is a level of optimism and excitement. And often as adults, we lose that perspective. Any last thoughts? And then I've got a few things before we take a quick break and transition. Let's go 1, 2, 3. Okay. So Mike, and then.
One thing you said about the playground came into my head too is how you said adults tend to look at things in a less hopeful way. One thing I thought about is like as a kid we would play tetherball on the playground, and now they don't let kids play tetherball anymore because they're afraid they'll get hurt. Just kind of how things evolve over time too, of what people are able to do.
Safety and perceived safety, right? Right. Yeah. Great. Yes.
When you were talking about the kids too, it triggered for me. Kids are really good about, let's try this, let's do that, and they're all jumping and talking. And I found we were all sort of analyzing the situation and having ideas of our own, but we weren't very good at saying, "Here's the plan." Here's
right.
What we're doing. So
but that's a plan. I mean, so from my experience of that is he drew a picture, and then I put in my part, and then she put in her part, and so I don't know it wasn't really structured like a plan.
yeah, no, I'm just about the level of communication during the process.
It's ongoing and iterative, and
It's like she would do her thing, she did hers, and we could have been doing 3 things at once. And I think kids just jump in and they all find a way to kind of. Whereas we're trying to be, I think we're more analytical. Whereas the kids are more sort of jump in and.
Carla.
I think it's all about accepting the ideas of others and knowing when your idea is not working to accept the other ideas and try them if they work or not.
Yeah.
So what I learned today is that I don't have to stick to my idea.
Yeah.
I should learn from others.
It's a really important point that often the Titanic will go down with one singular idea instead of continuing to understand the value of the wisdom of crowds. And the wisdom of crowds from a diverse perspective, diverse in expertise, but diverse in age, diverse in industry, really does create the best thinking when we talk about ideation. A couple more, and then I've got a few minutes and we're out. Yes?
Gift of improv, yes and versus no but.
Yes and versus no but. I love that.
Embracing curiosity rather than defending what you know.
Yeah, curiosity compared to defending what you know. Last comment, anybody? And then, yes, Assumpta.
I just have a question. What happens? Because when you're a kid, you're more creative and so on, more open and so forth. As we become adults, we then condition, and therefore we begin to become rigid and no longer playful and so forth, is that what happens?
Yeah, so a couple of the things that you just identified are the beginnings of what happens. We begin to put governors around our behavior, and we move toward restricting our ability to be creative as compared to encouraging creativity. So a couple other things that I wanted to share with you. When we look at the meta study of the Marshmallow Tower, and there are a couple researchers that have been doing this for years, kids and architects have the greatest level of success. Kids, because they fail and they fail fast. They try, kind of going to what Ann talked about or what your group talked about. They continue to iterate. They jump in. They're not afraid of sharing new ideas, but they just jump in and make it happen, and they keep working and keep working and keep working. When we look at the greatest tenets for success tied to habits of those that create new ideas, persistence tied to trying again and 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 again, and not focusing on individual failure, but focusing on idea failure that then creates learning is critical. Doctors and lawyers are the absolute worst, and I think you can put two and two together. Doctors and lawyers move to being very analytical. There's positional authority, there's positional leadership, and so often that gets in the way, their expertise gets in the way of their success. Incentives, believe it or not, create stress from a negative constraint, which then limits really success. And so if I said to all of you at 10 minutes in, all right, we're raising the stakes, $10,000, right? What they found when those studies happened is that a majority, if not all the room failed, because the stress became so focused and intense that everybody thought they had to go bigger, better, faster. And like even the group over here might have taken what they had, which was the winning tower, and tried to reiterate, of which then all of them failed. Time limitations create stress. So I started with 18 minutes, but we moved it to 15 minutes because we were a little short of time. Great ideas take time to incubate. Great ideas start in your subconscious, but have to be interacted with folks. And then last, collaboration. So there are 8 kind of tenets that I'm just going to hit for you that are really important. So just write these down because these are the frameworks when we look across the landscape of what creates success in ideation. Space, internal and external. The environment that you're in or that you craft matters greatly. Having outside light, having access to see something unique and different, getting out of your normal workspace. Those things matter from an internal but also from an external standpoint. Time. Good ideas take time. You know, Google's being credited with the 20% of your work you get to go do everywhere else. But the truth is 3M started that a long, long time ago. Sticky notes came out of one of those 20% ideas. So time to create, to play, to engage. Collaboration, idea bounce, test, try, throw, discuss. Wisdom of crowds. I love Sareki. Sareki really coined the phrase, the wisdom of crowds, but getting to diverse groups of people from diverse perspectives, from diverse ages matters at a high level. And it doesn't even have to all be expertise in one level. In fact, often it's good to have people that don't have expertise to round out the ideation process. And then discipline, being dogged about trying things again and again and again and again and again and not giving up. Second 4, fail. We've got to understand that great ideas require failure because failure equals learning, and that learning allows us to continue to iterate. Patterns. How do we incubate? How do we create patterns of success around ideation? This is really important. The lawyers and doctors move toward a protecting mentality. Kids move toward a connecting mentality. So we want to connect versus protect. And then last, habits. One of the things that challenged me in regard to my daughter was a 30-day creative challenge. What are the personal habits that you build into your life that allow you to think differently? Sienna was talking about in high school. She used to build in her class in physics bridges with popsicle sticks. Things like chess encourage creativity. There's actually, I thought about the bridge building because there's actually a game that I play on my iPad that allows you to build different bridges and tensions, and then you push a button and a truck goes over the bridge. And you only have so many resources, right? You can do steel, you can do rope, you can do cable, and then you can do a deck. And once your resources run out, then you got to rebuild. And once that truck goes over, it tests the weight to see if that bridge breaks or it succeeds. So again, she said she didn't even know she was learning. She just thought it was fun. But the teacher did a great job of looking and presenting then from a physics standpoint what was happening after they had the opportunity to play. So habits are really, really important. All right, so it is 10:46. We've gone way past. I think we've got to get some of our new students.
Come with me, and we're going to go to our next thing.
You're going to go harass Regina. So thank you all. And then if the rest of us want to take a quick break, be back in here ready to go by 11. We're going to walk through some other aspects moving into ideation tied to scholarly pursuit, okay?
Thank you, Dave. That was